Paddy Dingle has something to smile about in Emmerdale next week, as his deadly secret appears to be falling into place without suspicion. With Bear Wolf kept out of sight for now, the authorities are heading in the wrong direction in their investigation into Ray Walters' death. Fans recently watched Paddy devise a clever scheme after flashback scenes revealed the shocking truth. He saw Bear violently attack Ray. Wanting to shield his father from facing justice, Paddy struck a deal with teenager Dylan Penders to help get Bear away from the village and keep everything hidden. In a preview clip from Monday's episode, DS Walsh returns to the village to continue her inquiries. This puts Paddy under pressure to stay consistent with his story, as he continues to act clueless about his father's disappearance. Paddy confidently approaches Walsh and asks if there have been any updates on the case. She admits there's been no major progress, but explains that a large team is working on it, and they are particularly eager to question Ray's mother, Celia Daniels. However, unknown to Walsh, Celia is also dead. The investigation is clearly heading down the wrong path, giving Paddy a moment of relief. Afterwards, when he's by himself, Paddy phones Dylan to fill him in on the latest developments. "I've just run into the police, and they're seriously focusing on Celia for it," Paddy tells him. Elsewhere, the show's producer Laura Shaw has hinted at what lies ahead following the resolution of the Ray storyline. A newly released trailer has offered viewers a glimpse of upcoming drama. Discussing the teaser, Shaw said that the show launched 2026 in dramatic fashion, with a standout episode that delivered huge moments, including a surprise return, a shocking death, and a major health revelation. She added that there's plenty more intense and gripping drama on the way, building on those major storylines in the weeks to come. Emmerdale has confirmed the identity of the person responsible for knocking Cain Dingle down in an early ITVX release, bringing a swift twist to the ongoing mystery. Viewers tuning in tonight will see further drama unfold for Jacob Sugden, as it's revealed that he was the one behind the shocking incident on the road. Up until now, Jacob had been one of 3 key suspects alongside Kerry Wyatt and Graham Foster, but the storyline quickly reaches a turning point as the truth comes to light. The revelation shows that Jacob's struggles at work have led to serious consequences, pushing him to the edge both mentally and emotionally. As a trainee doctor, Jacob has recently been dealing with intense pressure at the hospital, where he has become the focus of cruel treatment while working under the supervision of the intimidating Dr. Todd. Earlier this week, he was left devastated after being sent home following another mistake, with Todd bluntly telling him that he didn't have what it takes to succeed in medicine. In the latest episode, it becomes clear that Jacob was driving back to the village while overwhelmed, exhausted, and emotionally drained when the accident occurred. Rather than hiding what happened, Jacob chooses to confess immediately that he was the driver involved in the collision. However, his honesty does little to ease the fallout, as the incident creates fresh strain in his relationship with his wife, Sarah. The situation becomes even more serious when Cain's scheduled prostate surgery is delayed while he recovers from his injuries, raising fears among his family that the postponement could allow his illness to worsen. As Sarah grows increasingly anxious about her grandfather's condition, she finds herself torn between concern for Cain and anger toward Jacob for making an already difficult situation even more complicated. The question remains whether she can eventually forgive him, or if the damage to their relationship will prove too great. At the same time, Jacob continues to struggle internally, battling stress and self-doubt while dealing with the ongoing influence of Dr. Todd. Hints about this major storyline had already been shared, with show representatives explaining that it would explore Jacob's difficulties in balancing his personal life with the demands of his job under a highly controlling superior. The pressure intensifies further when Dr. Todd begins to establish a presence within the village itself, blurring the boundaries between Jacob's work environment and his home life. Producers have also teased that Todd's manipulative behavior will play a significant role in upcoming episodes, affecting multiple characters beyond the hospital setting. They expressed excitement about bringing such a complex and calculating figure into the show, noting that the actor portraying Todd brings depth and experience that will elevate the storyline. With tensions rising and relationships under strain, the aftermath of the accident is set to deliver even more emotional and dramatic moments in the episodes ahead. Emmerdale's Jacob Sugden is set to face another troubling ordeal next week, as Dr. Todd's unsettling fixation on him takes a darker and more alarming turn. Jacob is left stunned when he discovers that Dr. Todd is planning to move in with Vanessa Woodfield, placing her uncomfortably close to his everyday life. With Todd now living nearby, Jacob's situation looks set to deteriorate further, especially as she begins to spread a damaging false claim about his behavior. While walking through the village with his wife Sarah, an already uneasy Jacob spots his intimidating boss speaking with Manpreet Sharma and Vanessa outside Tug Gill Cottage. It quickly becomes clear that this is not a casual conversation, as Jacob soon realizes that Todd is preparing to move into the property with Vanessa. The realization immediately heightens Jacob's anxiety as he understands that he will no longer have any escape from her influence, even outside of work. Sources close to the storyline suggest that Jacob's distress is obvious, as the pressure of dealing with Todd begins to consume both his professional and personal life. Already struggling under her constant scrutiny at the hospital, Jacob now faces the possibility of encountering her during his private time as well. Instead of feeling excited about his future, the young medic finds himself increasingly fearful and overwhelmed by the situation he's trapped in. At the beginning of the week, Dr. Todd attempts to reassure Jacob that everything between them is perfectly fine, despite the tension that has been building for some time. However, Jacob remains unaware that Todd is secretly recording audio entries, seemingly preparing to accuse him of inappropriate and obsessive conduct later on. Unbeknownst to him, Todd is carefully constructing a narrative that could seriously damage his reputation and career. Insiders reveal that Jacob has no idea about the manipulative scheme unfolding behind his back, leaving him dangerously exposed. Having worked tirelessly to build his career, Jacob now risks losing everything due to the actions of one calculating individual. There is hope that, if the truth comes out, Jacob may be able to demonstrate that Todd has altered or misrepresented recordings for her own benefit, though proving this could be extremely difficult. As tensions escalate, Jacob eventually reaches his breaking point, unable to cope with Todd's psychological tactics any longer. In an attempt to gain some breathing space, he arranges to swap work shifts with his friend Rich, hoping to avoid contact with her. Unfortunately, the plan quickly unravels, as the change in schedule ends up ensuring that he will be working alongside Todd the very next day. Later, Jacob crosses paths with Todd and Manpreet at the Woolpack, where the situation takes an even more troubling turn. While sharing a drink with Manpreet, Todd subtly begins to imply that Jacob has developed an unhealthy fixation on her. Her carefully planted suggestion raises serious concerns about how far she is willing to go to undermine him. With Todd now living just around the corner, Jacob's sense of security continues to diminish. The question remains whether he can protect himself from her manipulations, or if she will use her proximity to fabricate further evidence against him. As the drama unfolds, viewers can expect even more tension, fear, and uncertainty in the episodes ahead,